Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a look here at Luna Classic, seeing what's going on, and helping understand best practice, big picture along the way. So of course, as per usual, not a financial advisor, just love teaching people to trade. Really hope you can learn something here today, and if you want to become a better trader, consider joining my Trading Academy, community, and signal group. It's a one-stop shop for everything cryptocurrency. CryptoCache.tech is the website, link in the description below. I also offer discounts for military and third world countries too, so feel free to message me, but only use the information down below. I will never direct message you first. I'm not a solicitor, right? So just keep that in mind. There's a lot of trolls, unfortunately, down in the comment section below, so just be cautious there. Take a look here at Luna Classic or Terra Classic, whatever you want to call it. It is essentially retracing as expected, but not like entirely exactly the way that I was thinking it would. Now, first of all, yesterday, just to kind of clarify, we had basically, I wouldn't say this is exactly a gravestone candle, but a lot of times when you have, essentially the bottom half and a very large wick, it signals that the price action is going to continue down lower because the fact that it had opened and closed roughly at the same exact point that it had started, right? In other words, losing all that momentum and effectively bearish in this case when it comes to the downside, right? So today makes sense based on that candlestick closing. When we take a look at some of the other stuff, let's go ahead and see if we can go ahead and identify a few things here. RSI is coming down under 70 for a change. This is really nice. Even though it's bounced off 70 in essence in the past and working that as a support level, it's actually very healthy for this to happen. Okay, so I think this is a positive thing in the overall sense. There is potential for the price action to correct lower. We got to look at the smaller time frames to identify that. But for right now, based on what we see here, we're still on this ascending trend. Until it breaks that trend, we got to assume it's going to continue. Okay, that's essentially the concept. And it's actually perfect because if the price action just say continues lower, just say for another couple of days, and starts to retrace and bounce off this 40,000 range. That would be perfect because then hypothetically the price bounces off 50 and continues higher and we're still staying above 50. The key is to stay above 50 because that is the more important support level in most cases on the RSI. Okay, so again, it's perfectly fine that we're losing 70 on the RSI. I actually like to see that after a while because you can't sustain that for too long without a significant decrease. And Terra Classic's done very well about keeping itself at its average true range here so far between 40 and 48,000. Okay. Again, good stuff there in that sense, all well and good. We are losing a little bit of momentum here though, so you got to keep in mind this does kind of shift the momentum downwards. Not saying we're going to have a complete MACD divergence, but I can tell you that it's on its way, and there isn't any guarantees the price is going to stay at 40,000. It could very well come lower. We want to be prepared for that, but we also got to give that ascending trend a chance to be able to work itself out, because a lot of times we'll see the price action come over, maybe even wick down a little bit, and then continue higher. It's a great chance we could see that. Again, time will tell on that one there, but for now the daily looks, I would say, average, not fantastic in either direction. Taking a look at the 4 hour though, we can see this kind of happening here in a sense, whereas this trend line is soon to get tested. So I would say in the next 12 to 24 hours we'll have a pretty good indication if the price is going to want to stay above that level. But we can see here recently that the price action came down, bounced off 40,000, and so far it's trying to make a run back up. So again, not terrible in that sense. Both these candle wicks are kind of like right below 40,000, but we haven't truly had a closure below that, and that's a positive sign there too. Now, granted, this is a lower low, which is not fantastic, and obviously we're making lower highs, so until that trend changes and we start to establish higher highs, we're going to have to understand that it's going to continue lower. And actually, I misspoke. It's not higher highs we're looking for higher lows. So hypothetically, the price comes up to here, and we comes back down, it bounces. We're looking for higher lows. That's the best, most important thing to identify a shift in momentum to the upside. Higher highs are nice, but it's not necessarily required because it can oftentimes consolidate at that resistance level. Anyway, so that's just something to kind of think about. We lost 50 on the RSI here on the 4 hour, not fantastic. Shows the kind of the midterm is losing momentum. We also, of course, have this significant MACD divergence, and as we can see here, it's starting to gain a little bit more amplitude, and that's potentially problematic. I'm not saying it's going to just drop like a rock, but you got to recognize it rose up really fast and really quick, and it makes sense that some of the profits are getting taken, right? Especially with Bitcoin doing well, it seems that when Bitcoin does decent, Terra Classic goes down. I'm not saying that that's specifically a correlation, but sometimes when that happens, there can be some inverse pairings based on the simple fact that Bitcoin dominance starts to increase and altcoins tend to decrease. It's just kind of the natural progression. They're going to take profits mostly the whales, I'm referring to the retailers and whales, people like that are not us, adding to our position on our way up. They're essentially selling because they've made tons of profit in the fact that they got in at this lower point, right? And it makes sense to sell your most profitable coins when you're trying to put money back into Bitcoin, because there's a cycle. There's a 4-year cycle. Check out my video on that if you're curious on what that looks like. But generally speaking, there's a system that is in place, essentially a rinse and repeat every few years, so to speak. And the whales are essentially performing that function right now. So again, the 4-hour looks more disadvantageous than positive. In fact, let me take one quick last look here. We are still trending above the 50-day set moving average. That's good. It's running concurrent with this trend line. So once again, we got to give it a chance to hold. So that's mostly positive there, but still I would say overall 60-40 likelihood of a downside than upside at this point, considering the fact that we're still making lower highs and lower lows, and the 4-hour kind of isn't really giving us the best confirmation that we should take a long position right now. Okay, so I would expect the price to come perhaps a little bit lower, but again, a little too early to tell. I think once this trend line is tested, we'll know a lot more. Okay, moving on, very last thing to look at here is that we are below the cloud. Lagging span is free and clear price action, so not great. And of course, we do have conversion line below the baseline, and we're below the cloud. So all 3 of those indications are pointing down, right? So basically confirming that not necessarily a short position is extremely relevant right now, or should happen, but you'd probably be better off shorting than you would be long right now. That's basically what it's telling us. Okay, so again, depending on your overall position size, if you were in a long position, you should have closed it quite a while ago, because obviously the lagging span intersected with the price action quite some time ago beforehand. So again, hypothetically, you had closed right here, you would have gotten out right around here, and that's where this conservative indicator is positive, because of course you are probably stuck with a lower position if you'd gotten in at that level of 52,000. Again, it's never perfect, but it's commonly very accurate in a lot of cases. And if I were to choose only one indicator for the rest of my life to bank my trades on based on my trading style, 1-hour Ichimoku cloud any day, right? It has more than one indicator built in, so it's really nice to kind of get everything all in one. So to speak. So that pretty much brings us to summarize here, in the sense that lower highs, lower lows, we're below some key level resistances. It makes sense the price will continue lower, but it also makes sense that the price could bounce and should bounce off this ascending trend. So the likelihood of both those things that are happening are pretty high. So again, you be the judge of what you want to do here moving forward. But me personally, being more of a conservative trader, I would say it might be more viable to wait for a position closer to 40,000, maybe consider adding to your position there. And if that ascending trend doesn't hold, the next best support level is going to be right around the 33,400, 33.4, where the previous price action wicked all the way down to that level. Okay, so we're hoping to stay range bound in this area until we have a breakout to the upside, or of course the price action continues high to honor that. But a lot of signs are pointing down right now, and I would say it's generally less favorable for the price action to just shoot up from here. Once again, technical analysis is not 100%. It just increases your odds of success, right? All you can really do is just kind of extract as much as you can from each time frame and come to an informed decision. And the informed decision here is that there's a little bit more likelihood of a downside first, and then a potential bounce off that key level support to increase the price action higher. So again, interested to see what happens the next 24 to 48 hours. That is pretty much all I have here so far for you today. Hopefully this is a good learning experience for you, of course. And again, if you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is the website. Link in the description below. I look forward to working with you and hopefully helping you out with becoming a better trader. Awesome experience. You take good care of yourself. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.